bird sitting. Okay, good.
Cannot.
Good.
Nope. So, all right, streamers, welcome to the show. It's going to be the Brett and Chip show today. That's right. I'm looking forward to it. We got some cool videos, Brett. Oh my gosh. Oh, and anyhow, let's see. We've got Sergeant George is on right now from Hayward, California. So remember, he was in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and now he's in a little cooler climate, I guess, where it's 55 degrees in Hayward, California. So welcome to this show, Sergeant George. Also going to pop over here to Rumble and see how we're looking here, and make sure our audience is working and getting everything fine. So, yep, the feed is working on Rumble. We are live, and so we've got a bunch of regulars, MBS. This is Butter, who runs the This Is Butter channel at rumble.com, and Chili, and all those guys we're expecting to see. And I'm going to pop over here to LinkedIn real quick and make sure the LinkedIn feed is working. That's probably the most temperamental out of everything that we got going on here. And so our LinkedIn feed is up and running. Wow. I can't believe it. All right. I love it. So we're live on LinkedIn as well. So hello, LinkedIn users. Thanks for watching the show. We appreciate it. How are we doing today, Brett?
Good. Busy times.
We're winding down the contest, the glove challenge. And as you guys know that are watching the stream, we did a glove challenge, and there were two members of this show, of Leo Roundtable, that did it. I did it, and Travis Yates did it, and the goal was to see who could last the longest while being gloved by Dan Dela Cruz, who works for Compliant Technologies. And so that winner will be announced after the end of this month. So this month technically ends, I believe, on Saturday. So that means that March the 2nd will be Monday. So we'll announce the winner when we find out on Monday. And that means that the winner, myself or Travis, will get a free pair of the gloves that we will donate to, an agency of our choice. If I win, it'll be Tampa. And also the person that donates the most amount of money in the winner's name will also get a pair of gloves, and they can donate to an agency as well, because they can only be owned by an agency. So that's the way that works. So we should know on Monday and make that announcement. And if you guys are interested in participating or donating and trying to get a pair of these gloves, which are valued at, I believe it's about $2,000 now, go to thewoundedblue.org now. Brett, I sent in a couple requests to get the video attached. The video I did, and it's not up. It's still not up. And so I don't know. I even got a message from our favorite sheriff saying that he was going to get it done, and that didn't happen. So anyhow, when you go there to the Wounded Blue, go to the event section, and you'll see a graphic. Click on the graphic, and it'll have the donation form. The video's not there, but if you type in the glove challenge, or if you go to all of our outlets, you'll see that we've got it posted. So if you want to watch the video.
Well, I've been showing the video of you getting whacked to all my friends and relatives, and they're loving it.
Oh, is that there? Did you say they're gloving it?
Gloving it. That's a good way to put it. Gloving it. It's amazing. I don't, it seems to me, as a boss, I would invest that much money in something that's going to save me that much money.
Yeah.
If not in terms of lawsuits, in terms of what's the phrase out there? Optics.
Well, you're right. I mean, well, yeah, you're right. You got to count on everybody filming now, right? Everything's going to be on, be on camera. But yeah, use of force is never pretty. But this is about as pretty as it gets. Yeah, and they've never had an injury or a death.
Like I was telling people, I said, after you watch the video, if you were the press watching that, what you would report was, and at that point, a person threw themselves to the ground. Because that's what it looks like. It looks like they're just trying to escape this light little touch. Okay, that's what it looked like when they did you.
Yeah, I
like your forward roll though.
I can't even remember. Oh, Mary Lou's typing messages. I love it. I got Mary Lou on Facebook watching the show. Okay. But I can't even remember how I got on the ground. That's the weirdest thing. And I was a little apprehensive because I had knee surgery, and getting up and down, and then quickly I wanted to make sure. So you saw me doing some knee bends and some stuff, just trying to warm myself up. And dude, I had I had no issues, no
Yeah.
pain. I did a roll. I didn't even think. I mean, I rolled better than I can remember doing it when I was a DT instructor. You know,
So,
it was
maybe
just
a couple of more applications of the glove and you'll be healed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll take your word for that. Yeah.
It's in the
Anyhow,
Bible. Look it up.
yeah. So anyhow, we got good stuff going on. So all right. So we're about a little less than a minute and a half away from starting the show. So big plans for this weekend coming up, Brett. You know, I just got back from St. Augustine and
Oh
Dahlonega,
yeah.
Georgia.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah,
I didn't realize
birthday
that.
was Sunday. I got
Yeah.
to spend it with family and friends and my nieces and nephews. That was a lot of fun. So
Well, apparently it's going to rain here Saturday. And so we were going to have our air rifle practice, but I don't think we're going to have that. The local American Legion, in conjunction with NRA, we hold a youth air rifle training. So we've got air rifles.
Sweet.
We've got a range set up, and the kids are loving it.
you know, I've seen some of that stuff that you're doing with the kids. That's great stuff, dude.
Yep.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
And you know it's really neat. The parents come out and stand right there watching the whole time. They're just loving it.
Wow. Wow. Very cool. Very cool.
Second Amendment. Yay.
That's right. That's right. So we've got everything out with, thanks to MVS and, Black Rifle. We've got everything wheels in motion on that one. I haven't heard anything back, but I've done everything I can do to try to get them as a sponsor. So we'll wait to see what happens. So,
okay.
Well, guys, we are 10 seconds out. I'm going to start Brett's favorite music. We're going live satellite radio. Stick with us. We'll be right back. All right, guys, and welcome to Leo Roundtable at leoroundtable.com. My name is Chip DeBlock, and I'm your host, and we're a group of law enforcement professionals that talk about today's news and issues, but we do it from a law enforcement perspective. And let me introduce Captain Brett Bartlett to you. He's retired from the Tampa Police Department with 32 years of exemplary law enforcement experience. That's right. So thanks for being on the show, Captain. Also, a shout out to our sponsors. We have Galls, our title sponsor at galls.com. And hey, don't forget that code radio15 to get 15% off your next purchase at galls.com. So try using that as soon as you get the chance. ComplyTechnologies.com, our satellite sponsor. And yes, thanks to them, we're streaming over 1 million followers right now on social media during the live show. We have gunlearn.com, mymedicare.live, safeguardrecruiting.com, our streaming sponsor. And Comply Technologies, satellite sponsor, satellite radio. I think I misspoke. Safeguard Recruiting is our streaming sponsor, and they're helping us get streamed to 1 million people. And then twobells.com, they built their new online store at leoroundtable.com. So if you want some cool gear, cool shirts and hats and all kinds of stuff, go to leoroundtable.com, our website. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see where we have an online store built by Two Bells. Make your purchases and orders there. We've got these mugs. These are pretty cool coffee mugs, and they've come up with a new one, Brett. And I'm going to show you. There was they were coming up with a new mug on this thing, and I'm just going to show you. This is the old mug, and I'm curious. I'm trying to get some input from the people that are watching the show. This is the old mug, and it's got the logo on one side. But when I get it, I'm holding it with my left hand. I've got to hold it with my left hand for you to see the logo. If I do it with my right hand, there's no logo on the right side. But the inside, it's like that white ceramic. And It's pretty, and it's thin on the bottom, and it widens at the top. And then the logo is kind of blacked out.
Well, we need to have our motto on the back: admit nothing, deny everything, demand proof, make counteract. I bet we could sell 1,000 of them just like that.
I wore that shirt with that phrase on the back of it all over St. Augustine and Georgia.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Oh yeah, people were like looking at it, making it was crazy.
Were they mumbling behind you like?
No. Now here's the new mug they came out with. So this is the mug, and this one is double-sided. It's black on the inside, black on the outside, and it's really more of a shape of a traditional mug. Now this is the new one. It's supposed to be. Jeff told me it was going to be taller, but it's really. Probably it's not as tall. It's actually shorter.
Yeah.
And it's anyhow. The short of it is that I like the old mug better. I'm trying to see what other people think. It's white in the center. It flares out. I got to hold it in front of the camera. It's not a typical square size like this one. I would like to use the old one and get the logo either on the other side for right-handers or get it on both sides. But
I think our guiding light phrase would be better on that straight up and down coffee mug. Otherwise, on that flared one, it might be just kind of too weird. But I'm a traditionalist. I like a straight up and down coffee cup.
You like to straight up and down?
I'm
All
not.
right.
I'm not a slanted.
You don't like the pear?
No.
All right. Hey, a shout out to Brian Burns for the Tampa Free Press at TampaFP.com. Thanks for carrying our content, Brian. Also, Ray Dietrich at formerlawman.com. And finally, Travis Shades with lawofficer.com. Thanks to all those entities for helping make the show happen. And, I mentioned that we've got a new site going live. I haven't even given Brett the update on that yet. So as soon as I get the, it's up and running, but as soon as I get the URL and everything squared away, I'll give it out so you guys can start accessing it. And this is going to be, I predict this is going to be big. So anyhow, we'll keep you guys informed on that. Now, what in the world are we going to be talking about today? We got one main topic. Biden admin helped Georgia DA Fani Willis move the Trump probe forward, a letter reveals. Now, I know you're thinking, well, they flat out denied doing that, right? Yeah. Wait till you hear this. And now we got some more stuff too. Assuming that we have time to get to everything, the FBI story, Oklahoma man charged for assassination threats against Trump and shooting at agents. He shot at agents. Wow. And then Colorado Springs officers, they shot an armed suspect after he shot at an officer and reached for a gun. That's a pretty dramatic video. Another video, suspect killed himself after pursuit from an ambush attack on a Greenville County deputy. This guy rolls up with incendiary ammo and just freaking lights this deputy's cruiser up. And then the chase is on. And so we're going to be talking about that. Then with LAPD, we got an anti-ICE rioters. They used frozen water bottles to injure federal officers in downtown LA. And I think that we even got some LA cops that were involved in this too. We got the chief talking. We got Colorado Springs police releasing body cam of officers shooting a woman who tried to take a police car. She goes for a gun in the cockpit of the car. That didn't work out too well for her. New York State Police trooper struck these next two, Brett. A New York State Police trooper, a female, struck by an out-of-control SUV during an accident investigation. Dude, I freaking cringed when I watched that video. It hurt. And then a man hiding in a trash can, he runs on foot before being dumped in the dumpster. That's just, those last two are just something. So if you're ready, are you ready to do the first main story? All right.
Let's go.
All right. Let's get this party started. So our first one, now I'm going to go through this quickly because there's a lot of information in it, but just because unless you guys really, if they did a data dump when Trump 2.0 started a year ago, we would have been so overwhelmed with information, we would have forgot everything. And we would have been desensitized, I guarantee you, by the time it was over. So I don't really mind the stuff trickling out, because you just simply can't handle it all at one time. So in this one, TampaFP.com, the Tampa Free Press, Biden admin, they actually helped the Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis. We all know Fani helped her move the Trump probe forward, according to letters that they found out. So the Biden White House took a major step to help the Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis move forward in her Trump probe, even though there were denials that this was going to happen. And a top White House lawyer, so remember a Biden lawyer, agreed in September 2022 to waive executive privilege so that Willis's team, the DA, could have former president or former Trump administration officials and senior advisors testify in front of a grand jury. And this is according to a letter that was obtained by Just the News. Now, Willis was trying to present herself as impartial. President Donald Trump's legal team, they suggested that there was a coordinated effort between both her and the Biden administration in legal filings seeking records related to any interactions. Now, America First Legal, they filed a lawsuit with Just the News to obtain the records, and that was back in 2024. The Biden admin, they declined to assert executive privilege, which the current president generally decides to claim, and they did this to keep the documents away from the January 6th committee in 2021. Now, the President Biden has determined, as he did with respect to the congressional investigation of the events, that an assertion of executive privilege is not in the public interest with respect to efforts to thwart the orderly transition of power under our Constitution. And the special counsel at that time was a guy named Richard Sauber, and anyhow, there were some letters and some documentations going down, including with the chief senior district attorney, Donald Wakeford. And then we kind of go down to the DOJ. So this determination covers events within the White House on or about January the 6th, 2021. We all remember what happened then. Efforts to use the Department of Justice to advance a false narrative that the 2020 election was tainted. Now they're just doing, this is this is what Trump is known for saying, and this is what a lot of people, a lot of educated people believe now with all the information out. But they were downplaying the use of the DOJ to advance what they're saying was a false narrative back then, that the 2020 election was tainted by widespread fraud. And you know what I'm talking about, Brett. You know, there were what, 8 or 13 million, million votes that just suddenly appeared, and then they disappeared at the next presidential election. And it also goes on to say that there was, obstructing the transfer of power. In addition to questioning the election results, the president believes that the constitutional protections of executive privilege should not be used to shield information that reflects efforts to subvert the Constitution itself. So this is why he was, not suppressing this. So a judge officially dismissed the DA's case, and that's Fani Willis's case against Trump and his co-defendants in November, and it centered on allegations of interference with the 2020 election in Georgia. And she was disqualified from the case over an appearance of impropriety, which was just a beautiful thing that happened in the news, with her romantic relationship with a dude named Nathan Wade, the guy that wishes that the woman he had the affair with looked a little bit better than she does, I suspect. And then DA Willis falsely claimed that she paid the same hourly rate to all her special prosecutors working on the case, just like Nathan Wade, and reported by the Daily Caller News Foundation. And they showed that Wade actually got a higher rate than the state's top racketeering expert. So another lie. Then DA Wade twice billed $2,000 for meetings in 2022 with who? With the Biden White House. And they got records of that. Wade, the boyfriend, denied remembering the meetings during the transcribed interview in 2024 with the House Judiciary Committee. It's amazing how people get amnesia. And then cell phone data included in the filing by Trump's attorney. It actually showed the district attorney visited Willis's neighborhood at least 35 times in 2021. Wow. And so here's the best part. We've got a DOJ official, Jeff Clark. He's one of the defendants that, worked with Trump, that got hooked up on this thing. He says, as many of us argued from the jump, Fani, the DA, was colluding with the Biden White House, the Biden DOJ, and the January 6th committee. And he said that now the documents have come out proving that that is true. They were withheld from the Georgia defendants on spurious privilege grounds. And he said that is a disgrace. But Bartlett.
I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about all these things. Here's what I want to hear. So-and-so was arrested. It's all I want to hear. And you said it, we're getting fatigued. We're getting fatigued. Okay, so we find out that she's dirty. No kid. We find out that her attorney was dipping his pen in the company ink. No kid. I want somebody to go to jail for this. Put somebody in jail, because we've got about, and I don't know, I don't predict anything, but come next November when we have the midterms, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. But he needs to start locking people up, or maybe just take all that energy that would take and put it into making this country better, doing all the stuff that he's been doing. But if you're going to talk about it, put somebody in jail for it.
Yeah, I agree. That would be refreshing. And you kind of get, I think you would agree, Brett, you kind of get desensitized. You hear this, and we all know Fani Willis is corrupt and conflicts of interest, and she campaigned on with a promise to go after Trump, which is something you just don't do. I mean, ethically, you just don't do that stuff. So we've known. So this is, you're right. There's not many surprises here. I would donate a pair of handcuffs. I would pay money to have my handcuffs be the ones placed on her wrist.
But here's the thing, they could prove today. Okay, I'll wait till we get back.
Wait, well, hold that thought. Yeah, I'm sorry. This commercial break sneaking up on us. Commercial break, guys. We're talking about Galls. We'll be right back. All right, guys, time to talk about our favorite title sponsor, Galls at Galls.com. As police officers, the one thing we do really good, we love to buy gear. Brett is especially good at that. And when they throw the online option, your choices are limitless. But I want to remind everybody, but what is really important here, what we're talking about is it's being loyal and supporting the companies that actually support law enforcement. And I don't know if a company does that better than Galls at Galls.com. Even their motto, which is on the banner behind me, is proud to serve those who serve, which of course they do in spectacular fashion. And not only that, they walk the talk by supporting dozens of focused organizations like this radio show. So when you're looking for gear, please support our title sponsor by going to Galls at Galls.com. And they're going to do you one better. For the loyal listeners of the show, they've got a radio code where you can get 15% off your next purchase at Galls.com. It's Radio 15. Type in Radio 15 in order to get 15% off of most purchases at Galls.com. And they have gift cards. Hook up your family, friends, and loved ones with a new Galls gift card. They'll be your new best friends. Galls.com. All right, guys, we got 2 minutes before we come back to the radio portion of the show. Don't try this at home, Brett.
I don't know. I want to try it at home.
Hey, so man, I had so much fun with you at SHOT Show, Brett, and you hosted a couple of shows. There was a lot going on. You had an appearance from who popped his head on the show on the last day on Friday. It was
golly, that rocker Ted Nugent. Yeah,
Ted Nugent. Yeah, I mean, how cool was that?
Did that come through on the camera?
Oh, dude, yeah, I've got a screenshot of that. And I've got the perfect shot because, he was blocking Travis's face.
Yeah.
There's a great shot of Ted Nugent and you, Dan Dela Cruz, and Travis Yates right there with
send that
Ted Nugent.
Screenshot to me. I want to share that with my friends.
Yeah. Okay. I need to put it on social media. I had to go to a video editor, and I had to use a video editor to slow it down long enough to get to seize the right frame, to be honest with you. Right. So, but yeah, I'll have to get that to you. But it's a great shot, and I'm not in it because my back was to it. I'm not even in it.
You said it was a great shot, so yeah, I got it. I understand.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold. I may have to maybe I'll Photoshop myself in or something. Maybe. You never know.
That was a good time. I didn't know. I saw a group of people walking down that main hallway there, and I had no idea because Ted Nugent was in the middle of that crowd.
Yeah,
and then Travis started going, come here. And I thought Travis has lost his mind, but it turns out it was worth
it. yeah, that was just a wild time. You did a great job hosting.
Thanks.
And there's a lot going on with the host. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with the hosting thing and timing. And of course, we didn't have we're getting ready to go back to radio here, but the clock and everything wasn't fully working to its capacity, so it was tough on you. So good job. Here we go. All right, guys, welcome back. Leo Roundtable at LeoRoundtable.com. My name is Chip DeBlock, and I'm your host. We're joined by retired Captain Brett Bartlett from the Tampa Police Department with Exemplar Defense Solutions at ExemplarDefense.com. Did I mention he had 32 years of exemplary law enforcement experience? Okay. Anyhow, we've been talking about Fani Willis and how they have now got documentation proving that she was working with the White House, even though the Biden admin flat out denied it, and all these things went on. So, yeah. It's amazing. But anyhow, I know Brett summed it up beautifully and said, you know what? We're tired of hearing this crap. Let's just throw some cuffs on people, get some people indicted, arrested, and let there be some consequences for the bad actors. So I agree. And
a lot of people out there, Chip, they don't care if she did a bad thing or not. They don't care. You remember, my theory is, if it's my guy can do no wrong.
Okay.
Can't do anything wrong. And there's people on both sides. They're going to say that my guy can't do anything wrong, or your guy is always evil, no matter what happens. And so, but there's enough people out there that they're going to be moved left or right, depending on what goes on. And some people are going to hate Trump if he arrests her. Some people are going to love Trump. I just do the right thing and put somebody in jail.
I'm with you. All right. Well, we got a full crew here now. We got Laya and Mary Lou, and it looks like they're on Facebook. Sergeant George is on YouTube and popping over the Rumble. We've got MVS in Colorado where it's 42 degrees. Bill, BC, and of course, this is Butter and the other crew. So thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it. Moving along, we've got our next story here. It's an update story. It's from the Tampa Free Press at TampaFE.com. It says FBI. Oklahoma man charged for assassination threats against Trump and shooting an agent. So this 30-year-old Oklahoma dude is scheduled to be arraigned. So that tells you automatically they didn't kill him. So he's still alive. And he's being arraigned on a series of federal charges. So federal's got some teeth to it after a violent confrontation with the FBI and a long-running campaign of online death threats. I'm glad they got this guy, but crap. I mean, Taylor Ryan Prigmore is the loser's name. They've got his online profile. He's facing up to get this is where the federal, this is where why you don't want to get charged with federal crimes. He faced up to 100 years in federal prison after the investigation into what? Social media posts calling for the murder of President Donald Trump and MAGA supporters. And according to the federal complaint that was filed in the Western District of Oklahoma, his digital trail started as early as May of 2025. Now, prosecutors allege that he used YouTube comments to call for a civil war and the assassination of the president. Crap, Brett. We've been having our comments and screenshots and little thumbnails deleted off of YouTube for years. How can this guy get by with this on YouTube and get it to stay up? It goes on to say, on January the 17th, this year, 2026, he reportedly wrote, "Our president needs to die to save lives," alongside other posts urging followers to kill the feds. In one post, he explicitly stated his intentions were not sarcasm. He wrote that "I'm prepping physically and mentally to kill federal agents." The investigation reached a breaking point on January the 19th, 2026, when the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, they went in to arrest this dude at his house. The Justice Department reports that there was a brief standoff, and he allegedly fired multiple rounds at federal agents. You got to be kidding me. This guy lived through that. While no one was injured in the exchange, investigators recovered a gun. Now, what kind of a gun? You would think this guy, he's planning mentally and physically. He's got to have like some super duper gun, right? A high point 9mm semi-automatic pistol. I mean, high point's better use as a paperweight than a real gun. But the incident resulted in additional charges, including attempted murder of federal law enforcement, discharging a firearm during a crime of violence. In the months that led up to the standoff, his rhetoric focused on perceived collapse of the justice in the United States, grievances against ICE and the current political climate. He allegedly encouraged others to buy guns, stating that this is life and death. And along with the attempted murder charge, a federal grand jury actually indicted him on 4 counts of threatening the murder of federal law enforcement officers and 2 counts of communicating interstate threats. And if convicted, a maximum of a century behind bars. That would be sweet. And $2.25 million in fines. Brett Bartlett.
Now, they always say this. He was found with a loaded gun. Oh, my gosh. That just makes it all kinds of evil. I tell you, I think President Trump he is in more danger than any other president we've ever had. Just on all these attempts that are going on. I could be proven wrong, but it seems like that all the time. Of course, the shot in the ear was proof that he is under more danger than the other ones. But yeah. and the other side, they prompt this. They say the words, and there are a certain number of people out there, maybe small, but just enough, that are waiting for the words. They're in their retarded brain. When they hear these public officials say the words, they think that's their cue to move forward. And it doesn't take many, but it takes just enough. They found another guy that on President Trump property at Mar-a-Lago just a week, 10 days ago, caught him he had a shotgun. And I think they sent him to his reward. But it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And it's all because of the words that the other side is saying that are just enough to free up those people who are just waiting for those words.
Yeah, we got to keep our president alive. We got to keep him alive. I agree. Well, guys, moving along, and thank you, Captain. Our next one, we got about a minute and a half before we take our next commercial break. We got a story with a video component. So at rumble.com, our favorite law enforcement video channel called This Is Butter, Colorado Springs officers, they shoot an armed suspect after he shoots at an officer and reaches for a gun. This is wild. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Don't forget they legalized marijuana, right, Brett? The Colorado Springs Police Department, they released this body cam footage. They've got 2 officers from an incident that resulted in the shooting of 1 officer. So it starts with the Colorado Springs officers and the U.S. Marshals Service and the Department of Corrections Fugitive Apprehension Unit. So all these guys, they're doing an operation in northeast of Memorial Park. They're looking for a bad guy. And after that operation ends, they attempt to contact a dude that just looks kind of suspicious in the area. His name ends up being Michael Foster. And he allegedly starts to run. As soon as he sees the police, he refuses commands to stop and results in a pursuit on foot by 2 officers. So now, look, this goes down fast. You've got to watch the replay slow motion to see this, but this dude pulls out a gun as the officer's chasing him, and the guy points it directly at the officer that's right behind him, shoots him, and then the officer gets a shot off and goes down. And the officer Dan Mork simultaneously fired, and so they both go down. And it says the bad guys disarmed. That doesn't last for long, guys. We're coming up on our second commercial break. You got to stay with us to find out what happened in the story. It's incredible. Commercial break. We'll be right back. All right, guys, Compliant Technologies at complianttechnologies.com. They are committed to providing non-lethal solutions to help officers gain the upper hand safely and rapidly in a low optics manner, utilizing their CD3, which stands for conductive distraction and de-escalation technology. It's a mouthful, but their flagship product, we all know by now, is called the Glove. It's helped officers. We used to say tens of thousands of times. Now it's over 250,000 deployments with no injuries. And you heard that correctly. I said no injuries. The Glove has actually achieved non-lethal status in an arena that predominantly can only offer less lethal results. And when it comes to weapons retention, transitioning to your sidearm or conducted energy weapon, the Glove at complianttechnologies.com, they virtually eliminated weapons confusion. So stay ahead of the game with Compliant Technologies and the revolutionary CD3 that hundreds of agencies have already turned to nationwide. And friends, take it from me, when it comes to safety, this is one of the most common sense hands-on solutions that's ever come along. Go to complianttechnologies.com today and tell them a chip sent you, complianttechnologies.com. All right, guys, 4 minutes before we come back to the radio portion of the show. And I think we're off to a good start, Captain. And I can't wait to get back and talk about that, that next one.
Yeah, give me about 2 minutes, Chip. President Trump wants some advice. I'll be right back.
Okay, tell him I said hi. All right. So, all right, guys. And we will resume the satellite radio portion of the show coming up in about 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So stay tuned for that. And I hope everybody's having a good one. Now, let me just jump over, because remember, I was polling you guys and asking what you guys thought about the coffee mugs, and I haven't seen any commentary. We got Paul Humphrey Bogart is watching the show on Facebook, and also Spook Dog is logged in. Paul is on, Corporal. He likes to be called Corporal Bogart. So the Corporal is on Facebook, and Spook Dog is on YouTube. So thanks for watching the show, guys. So the old mug, and this is the old mug. It's thinner at the bottom. It kind of flares up, if you can tell. It kind of flares up towards the top, and it's got white ceramic on the inside. And so this is the old one, but the logo is just on the one side, and it's really for a left-hander. And so I prefer this one. I'm just trying to see what you guys think. And I would like it better if the logo was on both sides, so that way, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, it would show up. The new one they've come out with, it's actually a little shorter than the other one, and Brett likes this one. This one's completely square, and so it doesn't flare up, and it's not white ceramic on the inside. It's black. My wife says you can't tell when it's dirty. That's why she likes the light. And this one does have the logo on both sides, and the logos look pretty similar. It's maybe a little bit more darker on this one, the one that I like that flares out and stuff. But very, very similar. So let me know which one you guys like, and I'll get with the company, and I'll give Tracy a call and let her know which one we prefer. So let me know which one you guys like. I know you're just looking at it through the camera and you don't have it in your hand, but that's what we got. So let me know, guys. And hope everybody's having a good week so far. And I got back on Monday from St. Augustine, Florida, and from Dahlonega, Georgia. And it's good to be back and back to the grind. Not much of a grind though, Brett. We love what we do.
Grind away.
That's right. It doesn't pay a lot. It doesn't really pay a lot, but it is. It is fun. It is fun.
Well, listen, whether I get paid from you or not, every 30th of month, the City of Tampa pension takes care of business.
That's right. Hey, and that's what allows me to do this job.
All I had to do was ruin my health.
Oh. Hey, you big plans for the weekend, Brett? You said that you had the shooting thing that may get postponed on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I think it's going to rain, and if it does rain, I'll come. I have so much stuff going on. I'm trying to develop some training videos and stuff like that. So,
well, good. Remember, I'm the Premier Pro guy. So if you ever are down and you want any instruction, I've had to go and look at YouTube videos. Like when I did that video of the glove challenge, I've forgotten some stuff because producer Will does all that stuff now. So I had to kind of reteach myself how to do some of that stuff. I'm going to be having a block party tomorrow, because the last Friday of the month we do a block party where we it's the block party without the block. We only invite select neighbors to come to the house, and I play bartender, and they bring food. I do the drink thing, and it's just a lot of fun. I love watching people, get out of their comfort zone and finding things they really, really like, so we'll be doing that, going out to eat on Saturday. And then we've got some big stuff coming up. As you know, we'll talk about that next week with the Tampa Police Department. So yeah, some good stuff going on. We got 5 seconds, guys. Going back to satellite. Here we go. All right, guys, welcome back. Leo Roundtable at LeoRoundtable.com, the law enforcement talk show. My name is Chip the Block, and I'm your host. We're joined by Captain Brett Bartlett. And we left off talking about a story with a video component. Colorado Springs officers, plural, shoot an armed suspect after he shoots an officer and reaches for a gun. So, yeah, this guy actually shot a cop. So I just told the story about how it pretty much starts off with a guy looking suspicious. They get done with an operation, but we got a lot of cops. We got Colorado Springs police officers. We got the U.S. Marshal Service there and the Department of Corrections, a fugitive apprehension unit. So we've got like 3 groups there, and they get in the foot chase with this dude. And so our cop, Dan Mark, he's the guy, the lead guy. Well, actually, he's the only guy chasing at this time. Another cop comes up shortly afterwards. But as the officer's chasing the bad guy turns around with a gun, shoots the officer. Officer very quickly returns fire. It was almost simultaneously. They both go down. Officer, they're both hit. And so the second officer, Stephen Mybert, he gets there. And so we got one officer. Well, we got 2 guys, a good guy and a bad guy, both down on the ground. Both have been shot. And so the officer tells the bad guy, hey, stay on the ground, or that he's going to use deadly force on him. And then the officer, by my recollection, holsters his gun, goes out on radio. Now, it originally said that the bad guy dropped the gun when he got shot by the officer. So they're both down. But he stands up to get away, and now he's got the gun back again. So I got questions over why the officer holstered. It looked like he holstered his gun, went out on radio, and then the bad guy jumps up and tries to run. Our cop grabs him, takes him down. The guy goes for a gun, and now our second officer, Mybert, fires several shots at the bad guy. Now, the officer Mork was released from the hospital. This is the officer that was shot simultaneously. And so he ends up being released, and he's been with the agency for 26 years. The second officer that rolled up that also shot the bad guy, Mybert, he's been with the agency for 8 years and 7 months, and our bad guy, Foster, still in the hospital in critical but stable position. So I'm looking at my show notes, and that's pretty much the way that it went down. And they do have some great slow motion freeze frames with the zoom. It's amazing, Brett. What do you think?
That bad guy, he needs to be in a pine box 6 feet under right now.
Yeah.
And, we've been talking about this for years. Shut up. Don't get on the radio. Keep the gun in your hand until you know absolutely the bad guy's under control. This bad guy was dedicated. He got shot. He got up and walked right past those officers.
Yeah.
That's a deadly. As soon as he started getting up, that's a deadly force encounter all day long.
Yeah. I don't know why. Look, I mean, the first officer that got shot was more senior than the second officer, but yeah, the bad guy still had a gun and access to a gun clearly. So why you would holster your weapon? Now, maybe the second cop wasn't aware of that, but that's where you know you've had a shooting. So yeah, I got questions there. Yeah. I definitely see a training opportunity.
And and if we dug into it deeper, I might change my mind. But at least what it looks like is this: when he's putting his gun away, talking on the radio, he's distracted. He can't make a decision. You've got to shut your mouth, keep the gun in your hand until somebody comes up behind you and says, I got it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Just quit talking. Stop talking on the daggum radio.
That'll get you killed. It's one thing if you've got a shootout going on and it's active shooter and you've got units rolling in and you don't want them to arrive at the wrong location and get taken out, by a cop. But that's not what we had. You've got seconds to be able to deal with the situation, and these guys are just too. It's amazing. They're so radio happy, but they're not. But they don't want to go hands on anymore. They want to use the taser for everything. So they don't want to go hands on, and they want to always talk on the radio. while they're, take one hand off the gun and grab a radio and talking and shoot one hand. It's just the craziest thing.
If it gets much worse, what we're going to hear on these police videos on the way to a call, radio, there may be a shooting. Just want to let you know. Maybe shots fired, maybe. Possibly shots fired, maybe.
It is scary. We got Steve Bartlett just joined us from Facebook. So, Steve, that name sounds familiar. But, Steve, thanks for watching the show.
That's my sweet little nephew.
We appreciate it. And so moving along, we have another story with a video component. So if you're up for it, Brett, rumble.com, still our favorite law enforcement video channel called This Is Better. Suspect kills himself after pursuit from an ambush attack on a Greenville County deputy. Now, we have seen this before. I think that we actually even covered it. This is where the dude was using incendiary ammo when he lights up this sheriff's deputy. No, he didn't actually. He lit up the car. The deputy, from what I understand, was okay. But we're in Greenville, South Carolina. So the sheriff's office there released this critical incident briefing. It includes dash cam footage of the chase that ensued after the ambush. It does say that it injured the officer, the ambush. So on Sunday, January the 11th, we've got Officer Giordano Alberto. He's in his patrol car. And he's outside the Greenville County Law Enforcement Center. It's 2:00 in the morning, though. And we have a 42-year-old bad guy named David William Lane. He drives up next to the cruiser. And we got a surveillance camera. And it is like freaking electric fireworks going on. It's just crazy. It's incendiary ammo. And it just lights this car up, this cruiser up. And it's nighttime. Remember, it's 2:00 in the morning. So, and then when he gets done lighting the cruiser up, dude drives off. And the cruiser just sitting there, right? The officer's been injured and stuff. So Lane is seen fleeing from deputies in a 2019 silver Honda Civic. Now, I think we automatically know that there needs to be some kind of someone's got to confront this guy about the car that he drives. I mean, a 2019 Honda Civic, seriously, and how are you going to get away from cops driving a Civic? But anyhow, after firing at the officer, now he takes off and they see him at 3:13 a.m. So remember, this is about an hour and 13 minutes later. Deputies follow Lane. I don't know what happened. I guess they lost him and picked up the car or whatever. He fires 2 rounds at deputies who did not return fire. And then in a dash cam video, we've got him continuing to flee into a parking lot where he open fires again at deputies. So this would be like the 3rd time. One deputy returns fire before he drives away again, and now he turns into a nearby parking lot. And once in the parking lot, our bad guy is forcibly stopped by deputies. That's probably good terminology for what I saw. The deputies opened fired on the bad guy. After the shooting, the coroner, that's a good sound, isn't it? Because you know that there's a dead bad guy. The coroner pronounced Lane dead. Do you think the coroner's ever pronounced guys alive, Brett?
No.
I mean, I'm just reading this thinking, really?
Wouldn't that be a hoot? Yeah, we pronounce this guy alive.
So the coroner pronounces the dude dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound that occurred around the time of the forcible stop. That dude was dead either way. He was gone. Now, looking at my notes, it's an intense 4.5 minute video. And I advise watching it from the beginning as the suspect drives up in the parked deputy and fires incendiary ammo. That alone, you've never seen anything like it. But then you see the multiple pursuits, and then the sound kicks in at the 2-minute and 30-second mark. And it gets real at the 3-minute and 17-second mark where he ends. It's his last stand. He drives in that parking lot. You've got other units converging on him at the end of the chase. And then we've got 2 different dash cams that it shows, and then that one car that just takes him out, and just that cruiser just plows right into him, knocks him backwards. What do you think, Captain?
Yeah, this is nothing but deadly force. If those officers that had a suitcase tactical nuke, it would have been warranted. Just whatever's in your hand, they need to kill this guy. You see the bad guy pull up, but he's not close to the officer, so it doesn't really raise too many alarms. But when he fired that incendiary, and you saw that on the video, oh my gosh! Now, I'm glad the officer is okay, so I feel comfortable saying this. Kind of funny, but if it was me, they would have called my wife, Mary Lou, said he survived the shooting, but he terminally crapped in his pants because holy cow, man! All those sparks and crap flying. But yeah, good for them. He needs to go. He did it himself, which is good. He saved the officers the trauma of having to kill him.
Now, from what I understand, I've done a little research on incendiary ammo and stuff, and of course, you've taken the gun learn course, so I'm sure you know more than I do. But it. You and I may have had this conversation before, where you educated me a little bit, but I was under the impression that incendiary ammo was treated just like armor piercing ammo, that it's difficult to get a hold. Like, you just can't go purchase it. The agencies can get it and stuff, or the
Yeah,
military and stuff.
it's still out there. There's some stuff that used to be able to call, especially for shotguns, called Dragon's Breath. And man, when you fired it, it lit the world up. But you can't get that anymore. So I don't know where he may have gotten that ammunition from, but there's no telling. He may have made it himself. I really don't know. But it was if I can use the word, spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of under the impression that it goes through stuff like armor piercing, if I'm not mistaken.
Not necessarily. Incendiary is not this. It could be the same as armor piercing, but it's not. It doesn't
I know it's
always
not the
mean the
purpose
same
for
thing.
it, but right,
Yeah,
right.
armor piercing typically has a very, very hard core, and inside that hard core in that round, there's not enough room to put anything that would burn.
Okay, all right.
Typically, unless there's probably something out there I don't know about, but usually it's one or the other.
All right, so we are 30 seconds out. Perfect timing. So I'll just whet the appetite with our next story, perhaps. So our next one here, it's going to be an update. LAPD anti-ice riders used frozen water bottles to injure federal officers in downtown LA. And were the cops there? And did the cops get injured? And what kind of action did they take? We're going to find out. We'll be right back. All right, guys, time to talk about GunLearn at gunlearn.com. And as law enforcement officers, we deal with guns and we deal with ammo, like incendiary, almost every day, right? But it's what we don't know about them that gets us into trouble. Injuries, civil lawsuits, accidental discharges, misidentifications, lost prosecutions, and disciplinary issues. But gunlearn.com, they have your back. You can quickly become extremely firearm knowledgeable by simply learning 14 training modules from the convenience of your home or your office, or by attending the live seminar at gunlearn.com. You can also become a safe, accurate, and competent certified firearm specialist, like our very own Captain Brett Bartlett here, and also attorney Ken Afianco. Now, the course has had huge success in raising the bar of firearm knowledge, and GunLearn has been a trusted source since way back in 2011 by gun manufacturers, federal agencies, forensic organizations, and police departments nationwide. Now, the founder, Dan O'Kelly's got a deal for you. If you have your own agency, you can host a seminar for absolutely no cost. Amazing opportunity. Go to gunlearn.com to get more information. Again, that is gunlearn.com. All right, 2 minutes before we come back to the radio portion of the show. All right, good show so far, Brett.
Years ago, at the old TPD range, we had an academy class, and Jack Ragsdale was there, and somehow he found 38 caliber tracer ammunition. I don't know where he found it.
You gotta be kidding me.
And there's a device. It's called tannerite. It's a chemical that if you shoot it, it blows up. You get in very small quantities. So
what could go wrong?
We taped a box of tannerite behind the X-ring on the target. And Jack or Judy, I don't remember, fired a tracer round, and the target blew up and out of the frame. And we didn't tell them that was going to happen. We just said, we're going to show you how to shoot a gun. And all these kids are going, I don't know what that was, but I want some of that.
Did you get in any trouble for that?
What's to get in trouble for?
Oh my gosh!
Tannerite's legal. It's legal. 38 tracer. We were shooting in the dirt. They're legal.
Allegedly, yeah.
And of course, this is 35, 40 years ago. So I don't know.
Wow.
There wasn't a lot of trouble back then.
All right, so people that want to know, and I'm looking at the comments here to see if we got any comments on the mugs or anything, and that's what I'm looking for. And I'm over on Rumble here too. And Colorado's trying to legalize prostitution, apparently, according to MBS. That's interesting. But I've already signed up. What not signed up? I've already got accommodations for SHOT Show coming up in next January. So Brett, just so people know, Brett is not committed to go with me yet. So it's something about, when I tell the story and Brett's on the show, I tell about how we walk in the room, this little heart-shaped bed that we had to sleep on, and the only way we could both fit is if we were in a spoon position. I've been having so much fun with that story. But anyhow,
remember the first time's the hardest, Chip.
Back to radio. Here we go. All right, guys, welcome back. Leo Roundtable at leoroundtable.com, the law enforcement talk show. My name is Chip the Block, and I'm your host. We're joined by Captain Brett Bartlett. And, I whet the appetite before we went to commercial break. We've got rvmnews.com as the source. That's Red Voice Media. LAPD, anti-ICE rioters use frozen water bottles to injure federal officers in downtown LA. And don't forget, also in the news is about these guys in New York hitting NYPD cops with snowballs that were actually rocks with snow around the outside of them. And what I think I heard the mayor saying, I just saw a snowball. I just saw a snowball fight. Like really. Anyhow, this would go down so differently. I'm reading what went on in LA. If this happened in Tampa when Brett and I were working together, there would be some dead people, and I'm not talking about the cops. Los Angeles Police Department Chief Jim McDonnell said that on Tuesday, that high school students, now I know we're talking high school students, but crap, the suspected of injuring 2 federal officers during an anti-ICE riot, or riots, plural, on February 13th, that they used frozen water bottles as projectiles, and that was reported by the New York Post. Chief McDonnell disclosed the detail about this during the remarks at the police commission meeting, which outlined protest activity in the city that's been going on since February the 9th. He said that unidentified suspects, and that's another problem, why they unidentified. They threw frozen water bottles at 2 Federal Protective Service officers assigned to guard the federal building in downtown LA during what he described as a violent anti-ICE confrontation. So all these people talking about, oh, they're not violent. Yeah, that's a bunch of what. The projectile struck both officers, resulting in one officer sustaining a head injury and one officer getting a laceration above his right eye, according to Chief McDonnell. Remember, we're talking about frozen water bottles. In a separate incident at the same protest, a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent was hit in the head with a rock, causing injury, according to DHS, Department of Homeland Security. Now, here's another troubling thing. No arrests have been made in either case. Reports were filed for assault with a deadly weapon in both incidents, according to the chief. And according to the chief, approximately 200 students took part in a school walkout and an anti-ICE demonstration that escalated on February the 13th. So remember, we were talking about February the 9th. Now we're at the 13th, 4 days later. Students from the Thomas Jefferson High School, Maya Agalo Community High School, and Santee Education Complex, all 3 of these places, they were directed through social media to take Metro Transit and gather at the Santee Education Complex. The group marched to City Hall before continuing to the federal building on Los Angeles Street. Now, we know that they have intel units that should be aware of all this stuff, and I'm sure that they were aware of all this stuff in advance. Chief McDonnell said participants began to bang on windows and doors near the entrance before moving toward the Federal Detention Center, where demonstrators flooded the loading dock, and they were confronted by Federal Service Protection agents. These are high schoolers. Members of the group threw frozen water bottles, striking 2 federal protective agents. The chief said that no LAPD personnel were injured and no arrests were made during the February 13th incident. Why? Video recorded during the protest showed a large group of demonstrators, teenagers, high schoolers, surrounding officers who drew what? Their pistols? No, they drew their friggin' tasers, and they pushed protesters back down the street. Another clip captured a demonstrator. He's swinging a pole at an agent, and he hits him at least twice. Additional footage showed an officer wrestling with a woman before she was pulled back by the crowd and appeared to leave the scene. So they pretty much took her away from the officer. Chief McDonnell also referenced separate planned walkout and ICE demonstration held in downtown LA February the 9th. Remember the earlier date. He said students at that event threw water bottles as well. There are no injuries reported, no arrests made again. Just because there's no injuries doesn't mean there shouldn't be arrests made. The February 13th protest, remember, we got the 9th and the 13th, so now we're jumping 4 days ahead again. That was part of a 3 consecutive Fridays of anti-ICE demonstrations in downtown LA, and teenagers were burning flags, vandalizing buildings, throwing objects at officers. Last week, McDonnell urged students to remain in school, avoid dangerous protests. The LA Department, or LAPD, also warned that there may be legal consequences for parents and students if the students skip the class to participate in the protest. The same students they haven't identified, Brett, and they haven't arrested yet. Far-left activists have encouraged students to join demonstrations opposing ICE. A group calling Dare to Struggle SoCal, like Southern California, urged students to leave class, rebel against federal agents. And U.S. Attorney Bill Esley released photographs of 2 teenagers suspected of attacking ICE agents during the February 13th protest, and said that those involved would face prosecution, but they don't know who they are. Captain Brett.
First off, kick those kids out of school. Make the parents pay for their education. Excuse me. But I tell you, this opens up the door. Now, if I was out there any police anywhere, and somebody raises up their hand to throw a water bottle at me, I'm going to shoot them right between the running lights, because now there's demonstrated evidence that
Why are
what's
they
in
going
that
for
bottle
tasers, Brett?
yeah, I know it, but if that happened on the street one on one, they'd shoot them. But because it's a group situation, they hesitate to do anything. But even before that, if somebody throws a bottle at me with liquid in it, why can't I presume there's going to be some harmful product in there? I don't get it. But here's what the other side wants. They want toddlers out there protesting ICE. So when one of them gets hurt, they can say, "Oh, look at you, horrible, horrible people! You've attacked children." Well, these aren't children. These are, I won't say these are grown. They're adults. If they're acting like adults, they need to be treated like adults.
Yeah. It's just sad. I really think it's a East Coast, West Coast thing. I suspect that you would see a lot of the same things going on, even if it wasn't in a group. I mean, and I'm just going off a lot of things, what I hear, some of the guys on the show that are from LAPD and stuff. I just see this would never happen on this side of the country. And you're right. We would put a bullet through the running lights. And you don't have to be in fear of death to be able to use deadly force, only injury. Yeah. Someone throwing a water bottle at me, frozen or not frozen, they're getting shot.
Great bodily harm. Yep.
Yeah. Someone has a BB gun and I know it's not a weapon, but I'm getting shot. They're shooting at me with a BB gun where I could take my eye out. Guess what? I'm shooting them to end the threat, and they're probably going to die. If
it's a pink gun or a blue gun or a red gun, they're still going to get shot.
Yeah,
because nowadays you have no idea anyway. There's so many different configurations. You can spray paint a gun green or blue. It doesn't matter.
And that's what they would do. Yeah,
but they need to set an example and to kick the kids out of school, even if it's hundreds of them. Kick them out. They need to fire the teachers who encourage this.
They should have. Well, somebody dropped. I mean, their intel unit, if they didn't know about this and they didn't say, they need to do a better job, because there's no way that all these students knew about this and they organized this online and they didn't know about that.
Let me guess. Maybe there were SROs involved.
I knew that. I should have known that was coming. I should have seen it coming. So anyhow, LAPD, not impressed. I mean, Chief McDonald, I've heard great things about you. Yeah, not impressed. Guys pulling out tasers in a lethal force situation, and then the feds are the only guys that got injured. So I'm not saying LAPD stood down like Minneapolis has been doing when the feds have been over there, but I'm wondering why no guys were grabbed. You didn't go 10-15 with one dude. You didn't identify one student. You got a couple pictures. You still don't know who they are. And we don't have any officers. The only guys injured are the feds. And this thing was like plain. And this went on for like the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th. I mean, you got to be freaking kidding me. LAPD.
It's ridiculous.
What a disappointment, so
they need to have the officers on the street out there. They need to have somebody in an overwatch with a long range rifle. So if somebody cocks back something to throw it, they need to put it right there in the forehead and stop it. Just stop it.
All right. Well, thanks. We got a minute left, and we've got. I'll tell you what, real quick. Those the trooper getting struck by the out of control SUV, or or we got the trash can dumpster, the guy in the trash can. What do you want?
Let's get the one where the car slides on ice.
All right. So rumble.com, our favorite law enforcement video channel. This is better. New York State police trooper struck by an out-of-control SUV during an accident investigation. So we're in Duane, New York, and I've only got seconds, but I do want to cover this. So NYPD is investigating, and New York State police. So the troopers are investigating after a trooper was struck by an out-of-control SUV. They're at an accident scene, and a female trooper, Bailey Martin, she's assigned to the Malone Barracks, and she's outside the cruiser. SUV's coming. It's icy out. It's snowy out. He can't, when he's sliding, his wheels are turned in the other direction. And you should always try to keep your tires in the direction that you're sliding. And man, he hits her hard. And then the cruiser, I can't believe the driver, Colin Wanat, 21 years old, told police he was blinded by the sun, failed to stop at a stop sign, and took out the female trooper, and her cruiser. And it looks like the people in the SUV declined treatment. And we don't know what her condition is, I guess, but she went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and it says that she's since returned to duty, actually. So any final words on that, Captain? 15 seconds.
One of those vehicles had license plate readers installed on the back of the car. So if you're looking at that and you see these little square devices pointing off the side, those are license plate reader. They drive around with them, taking real-time pictures. They get hits on stolen vehicles.
All right. I love it. Well, thank you, Captain. I do want to mention the Wounded Blue, thewoundedblue.org. Lieutenant Randy Sutton's 501c3, helping cops out in the world of hurt that are suffering from things like PTSD and other issues. And so if you're looking for organization support, please check them out at thewoundedblue.org. Hey, a shout out to our sponsors, guys. Please support our sponsors. They go to great lengths to bring this radio content to you. We have goals at goals.com. Don't forget the radio code or the discount code radio15, complianttechnologies.com, gunlearn.com, Medicare.life, safe recruiting, and twobells.com. We'll see you guys back tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern, and we're going to keep it going for another minute and a half to keep the satellite company happy. Brett, you have any final words for the listening audience and for your fan base?
Try fast, take chances.
Try fast, take chances. Oh man, so Colleen doesn't seem like she's a big fan, but hey, we're just glad that you guys are watching the show, and you have to make assumptions in life, you know. I tell you, it's just, we come from a long career in law enforcement, and we're trying to tell you the news from a law enforcement perspective. And you guys are not going to get that anywhere else. We're the only guys that do this. And so, and we've got the people that are on the show. If you go to leoroundtable.com, you won't see these names under one roof anywhere else, period. So, I mean, I have to pay Brett so much money. I actually promised to pay him money. It hasn't, the money hasn't started trickling down yet, but he knows the check is in the mail. So, but that's the only way I could get a hold of talent like this.
Putting $1 in my waistband is not paying me.
Oh. So guys, don't forget to give me your feedback on the mugs that I showed you, and we do appreciate the support. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Don't forget, we're going to be live here tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern. Please try to make it for that show. We got some good stuff lined up, and we've got actually Lieutenant Springer. He's back from LAPD. He'll be back on the show tomorrow, and I believe we've got not Ralph Ornelas. He's not going to be on. I think that we've got maybe Dr. Joel Schultz. I can't remember for sure, but I know that we've got Chuck Springer. So anyhow, it should be a good show tomorrow. We'll be talking about some good stuff. We'll see you guys tomorrow.